Ever wondered how your credentials get verified when you log into a network, or who decides what you can access and view? Welcome to episode 23 of our CCNA course series on Tech Spectrum Pro. Today, we're exploring the vital concepts of authentication, authorization, and accounting, often abbreviated as AAA. These aren't just fancy tech jargon, but the backbone of network security. They're the silent guardians that ensure you can securely access the resources you need while keeping the network safe. Authentication verifies your identity, authorization determines your permissions, and accounting keeps track of your activities. In essence, they're the gatekeeper, the bouncer, and the auditor of the network world. And understanding how they work together is key to mastering network security. So, whether you're a seasoned network professional or a curious newbie, there's plenty to learn and discover. Stay with us as we delve into the fascinating world of AAA. Imagine trying to gain access to a restricted area. What's the first thing you would need to do? Correct, prove your identity. This is precisely where the concept of authentication comes into play in the world of network security. Authentication is the process of verifying the identity of a user, device, or system. It's like the bouncer in a club, checking IDs at the door. Without it, anyone and everyone could walk in and have access to the dance floor. In a network scenario, this dance floor could be your sensitive data, network resources, or even system controls, and we certainly wouldn't want uninvited guests there, would we? Now we live in a digital age, so authentication isn't as simple as showing an ID card. It often involves a username and password, but it's not limited to these. It could also involve digital certificates, smart cards, biometric data like fingerprints or facial recognition, or even a combination of these methods. This is known as multi-factor authentication, and it provides an extra layer of security. But why is authentication so important? Well, it's the first line of defense in network security. By confirming the identity of the user, we can be sure that only authorized individuals have access to the network resources. This, in turn, helps protect the system from threats like data theft, unauthorized access, and even cyber attacks. However, it's crucial to remember that authentication alone isn't foolproof. Yes, it's an essential piece of the puzzle, but it's only one part of a complete security system. It needs to work hand in hand with other security measures like authorization and accounting, which we'll discuss later in this video. In the end, authentication is like your personal bodyguard in the cyber world. It verifies who you are and ensures that you are who you claim to be before letting you in. It's like the gatekeeper, ensuring only verified users get through, but it's always on alert, ready to block any imposters trying to sneak in. So, the next time you enter your password, remember that's your digital bouncer at work. So, authentication is like the gatekeeper, ensuring only verified users get through. So you've made it past the gatekeeper. Now what? Well, it's time to see what you're allowed to do within the network. Let's unpack the concept of authorization, an often overlooked but crucial component of network security. If authentication is the bouncer that checks your ID at the door, then authorization is the event organizer who gives you a wristband that decides which sections of the venue you can access. After you're authenticated, the system needs to know what you're allowed to do. That's where authorization comes in. It's the process that determines what privileges an authenticated user has within a network. Think of it like this. You're in a library. Authentication is the process that verifies you're a member and allows entry. Authorization, on the other hand, determines whether you can borrow books, use computers, or access the rare books section. It's all about permissions and privileges. On a more technical level, authorization in a network environment is managed through policies. These policies define the resources or actions that a user can access or perform within the network. These could be anything from accessing a specific folder to changing system settings or even deleting files. In a well-structured network, authorization is granular. This means that it doesn't just blanketly allow or deny access. Instead, it determines the specific actions a user can perform on a per-resource basis. For example, A user might have read access to a database but not write access. It's also worth noting that authorization should follow the principle of least privilege. This simply means that users should only be given the minimum permissions they need to perform their tasks. This reduces the risk of an insider threat or a compromised account causing extensive damage. So, you see, authorization plays a pivotal role in maintaining the security and integrity of a network. It's not just about keeping the bad guys out, but also about managing what the good guys can do once they're in. In essence, authorization is like the rules of the house, dictating what you can and cannot do. Ever wondered who keeps track of what you do within a network once you've been authenticated and authorized? Enter accounting. In the realm of network security, there's a third pillar that completes the AA triumvirate: accounting. Accounting, in the context of network security, isn't about the crunching of numbers or balancing books. It's about tracking and recording user activities within the network. It's about keeping an eye on who did what, when, and for how long. Imagine accounting as the network's surveillance system, quietly noting down every move you make. It's not there to judge or to restrict, but to maintain a log, a record of your activities. This silent observer is crucial for several reasons. Let's delve into a few. Firstly, it's for auditing. In case of any security breaches or anomalies, the data collected by accounting can serve as a comprehensive event log. This information can be invaluable in tracing back the steps to the origin of the issue and resolving it. Secondly, it's for billing. In a commercial scenario, accounting can track the usage of network resources by different users or departments. This can be used to allocate costs proportionately based on usage. Thirdly, it's for reporting. The data logged by accounting can be used to generate reports on network usage trends, peak usage times, and even to identify potential bottlenecks or areas for improvement. So, in essence, accounting is the network's silent auditor, diligently noting down every single activity. It's the third critical component of the AAA framework, complementing authentication and authorization to create a robust network security system. Just like authentication verifies your identity and authorization determines your access level, accounting monitors your actions within the network. Each aspect plays a vital role in ensuring the overall security and functionality of the network. The role of accounting is not to be underestimated. It's responsible for maintaining the transparency and accountability of network activities, making it an indispensable part of any secure network system. Accounting, therefore, is the network's auditor, keeping tabs on all user activities. Now that we've understood AAA, let's turn our attention to wireless security protocols. Ever heard of WPA, WPA2, and WPA3? To start, wireless security protocols are like the rules that govern how data is secured when it's transmitted over a wireless network. They're like the secret handshake that your devices and your router use to keep your data safe from prying eyes. Let's dive into the first one, WPA, which stands for Wi-Fi Protected Access. Introduced in the early 2000s, WPA was a significant improvement over its predecessor, WEP. It uses a protocol known as TKIP, or Temporal Key Integrity Protocol. TKIP dynamically generates a new 128-bit key for each packet sent over the network, making it much harder for hackers to crack. However, WPA had its flaws, and thus WPA2 was born. WPA2, the second version of Wi-Fi Protected Access, came into the picture around 2004. It introduced an even stronger encryption technology, AES, or Advanced Encryption Standard. AES is a symmetric key encryption that provides robust security, making WPA2 a go-to choice for many networks. But technology never stops evolving, does it? In came WPA3, the latest and most secure wireless security protocol to date. WPA3, launched in 2018, offers a more secure handshake process known as Simultaneous Authentication of Equals, or SAE. It also provides better protection against brute force attacks and improved privacy on open networks. However, it's worth noting that each of these protocols has its strengths and weaknesses. While WPA3 is the latest and most secure, it requires more processing power and may not be supported by older devices. On the other hand, WPA and WPA2 are more widely compatible but offer less security. In summary, wireless security protocols like WPA, WPA2, and WPA3 are essential tools for protecting your data when it's transmitted over a wireless network. They're like the security guards of your network, ensuring your data's safety from potential intruders. These protocols are like the security guards of your wireless network, keeping your data safe and secure. A lot to digest, isn't it? But don't worry, we'll take a quick recap to make sure it all sticks. In today's episode, we've delved deep into the world of authentication, authorization, and accounting, often referred to as the AA of network security. We started our journey understanding how authentication verifies the identity of users, devices, and systems. Next, we moved on to authorization, explaining how it determines what authenticated entities are permitted to do. Lastly, in the AAA trio, we discussed accounting, the network auditor, which keeps track of user activities, providing vital data for trend analysis and capacity planning. Moreover, we explored the wireless security protocols, WPA, WPA2, and WPA3, each providing a unique level of security, ensuring your wireless networks stay secure. And that's a wrap on ADA and wireless security protocols. Remember, secure networking is a vital part of our digital world, so always keep these principles in mind.